I'm Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And, it's going to be a kind of interesting weekend, of course, with Labor Day. People may be traveling like crazy, which is great, because really traveling is back up above and beyond. That's great, too. And thank goodness we've not really seen any more issues as far as flight cancellations. It's been very, very tough, of course. And then the issues before with baggage being lost, whatever, put different places, too. But I'll share more about that too, but one thing that was just a really good announcement today was something that Norwegian Cruise Line has been doing for 5 years now. What they do is they have their, it's called their Norwegian's Giving Joy program. And this is the 5th year they've done it, okay? And what they did was, more about it, it's a way that they recognize and award teachers. Yes. And what they did was, Norwegian Cruise Line today just announced the 20 winners of their highly anticipated 5th annual Norwegian's Giving Joy program, which recognizes educators' unwavering dedication to their students and their commitment to bringing joy to the classroom, which is how they came up with the name. And each of these 20 winners, they're teachers, by the way, yes, will receive an exclusive invitation to a 2-day inaugural event in Boston from April 4th to the 6th next year, 2025, aboard their brand new Norwegian Aqua when it makes its U.S. debut. But how fun! Okay, and teachers get nominated. I'll share more about that later. But also, in addition, the top 5 grand prize winners will also be invited to be on the Norwegian Aqua's 3-night christening voyage, which is going to sail from Miami on April 13th of 2025. And like I mentioned, Norwegian Cruise Line has been doing this for 5 years. And David Harar, who is the president of Norwegian Cruise Line, said that giving joy is really near and dear to our hearts at Norwegian Cruise Line. It's really an honor to really congratulate the 20 incredible educators who passionately serve their communities with experiences on board Norwegian Aqua. And these amazing teachers, of course, are shaping the future of the next generation. And I'm thrilled to announce, able to showcase a brand new Norwegian Aqua with them, and then sharing enrichments, of course, that bridge the connection between education and travel. And the Norwegian 2024 Giving Joy month-long contest actually launched during this year's Teachers Appreciation Week in May, and it resulted in over thousands of votes for winners from Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Ohio, Washington, and Newfoundland, Canada. And then the top 5 grand prize winners with the most votes include, I'll read these for you, it's Larry Knight, Jr., he's from Stanton College Preparatory School in Jacksonville, Florida. Deborah Golding from West Glades Middle School in Parkland, Florida. Sean Miller from Loveland High School in Loveland, Ohio. Also Bradley Gardner from Franklin Central High School in Indianapolis, Indiana. Also, we've got Nancy Altmore from City of Pembroke Pines Charter High School, Academic Village in Pembroke Pines, Florida. And with Norwegian Cruise Line's Giving Joy program, it's obviously really near to their hearts at Norwegian Cruise Line. What they do is, as mentioned, they've got 20 different educators that won awards, and then the 5 one just listed I'll be going on the christening cruise of the Norwegian Aqua later on too, besides the other thing that we've been going on too. And once again, it really has their connection between travel and education, celebrating and commemorating the commitment of teachers to what they do as far as enlightening human young minds too. And they've been doing this in 2019, as when Norwegian Giving Joy campaign have received over 60,000 teacher nominations and more than 1.8 million votes. Yes, over 270 educators to win a vacation of a lifetime. And they also donated close to 500 of 500,000 to teachers in their schools with the support of Norwegian Cruise Line's partners too. And like I said, as part of this 2024 campaign pricing, excuse me, they include round-trip airfare for the winners and their guests. Also, this comes in part to the generous donation from Coca-Cola, which is NCL's partner. Also, with the Norwegian Aqua, just a minute, please. But the Aqua is their newest ship coming out next year, and it's really going to give the guests on board, their guest winners, really some really great outdoor space too, and staffing, and it really builds on their history too, the Norwegian Cruise Line, because they really support educators throughout their award-winning Giving Joy campaign. And like I said, they also debuted a year-round teacher cruise discount, which is great, because once again, cruise lines do that. Okay, I know that one thing that really hits my heart too is they provide different discounts for people that are actually military, okay, and even veterans too, which is great. But with Norwegian Cruise Line, they've got history too, as far as debuting early this summer their year-round teacher cruise discount, and it's really extending the gratitude of dedicated teachers too. And so now all educational professionals, including active classroom teachers, pre-K to 12th grade, principals, assistant principals, school employees, and college professors, etc., can enjoy discounts too. So just keep it in mind too. So yeah, definitely look at that too. It's great. Excuse me. But that was really heartwarming, and they just announced the winners today, so that was great too. Something else that we're seeing too is with the increase of different ports, of course, and Galveston is going to be getting a new port. They just did kind of like a sand cutting, I think, earlier this week with Embassy Cruises, because they're going to be actually building a new cruise terminal port in Galveston, Texas too, which is great. Also, Tampa, they're getting, in Tampa, they're getting their first ultra premium cruise ship. Oceana Cruises, which is a leading culinary and destination-focused cruise line, is adding a new range of Caribbean and Panama Canal cruises, sailing early 2026, and they're going to be departing from Tampa, which is located on Florida's west coast. And the line's Insignia, which accommodates 670 guests, will make a history in March 2026 when she becomes the first ultra-premium cruise line to sail from Port Tampa Bay. And they just announced this too, with the Insignia, which is their ship. She'll be journeying in from Tampa on 7 to 20-night itineraries, exploring the Caribbean islands, including St. Thomas, St. Kitts, Tortola, which is gorgeous, calls in Cozumel, Costa Maya, also Belize City, as well as their daylight transit to the iconic Panama Canal, and overnighting stay in Panama City, which is great. And like I said, they've got different venues with Michelin guide restaurants. Also, they've got these immersive culinary tours, which I think is great, by local experts. And as far as Tampa Bay, it really is an exciting new chapter for Oceana Cruises, because they become really the first ultra premium cruise line to really have dedicated voyages from Tampa, which opens the door as far as Florida's west coast. So cruise lines can sail from the west coast too, and the Gulf of Mexico, which is great. And it's just like it's really beautiful expansion of the brand with Oceana Cruises. Also, really, Tampa does echo really a cosmopolitan essence of their beloved hometown, of course, of Miami, which is where the corporation is housed, whatever, based. But also, aboard Oceana Cruises, and with their ship, which is going to be the Insignia. With Insignia, people can really enjoy relaxed but refined luxury, elegant home away from home ambiance. Also, they've got their always included gourmet specialty restaurant experiences. And as mentioned, the ship only accommodates 670 guests. And once again, they've got a dedicated team of 400 crew members, okay? And once again, they got spa fitness classes in their spa and fitness center. They've got a sports center. And also they've got, like I said, as far as gourmet specialty restaurants, a couple that really want to mention. They've got the Polo Grill, which is a classic American steakhouse. They've got their Italian venue called Toscana. They've got a spa, of course, fitness classes, and the Aquamar Spa and Vitality Center. They've got a sports deck that has putting greens and shuffleboard. Also, they got this expansive top-of-the-ship library. They've got lounges, they've got bars, casino. Some new Insignia sailings to and from Tampa include, they got one that's called the Tropical Harmony, which will be sailing February 22nd to March 3rd, 2026. And that will be a 9-day cruise from Bridgetown and then to Tampa. Then Bridgetown to Aruba, Arangestad, Bermuda. Aruba. They've got Montego Bay, Costa Maya, and Cozumel, Tampa. And then they've got their Leeward Islands Serenade, which will be March 3rd to the 18th, 2026. This is a 15-day cruise sailing from Tampa to Tampa. And this includes Tampa, San Juan, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, Philipsburg, which is in St. Martin, also St. John's, which is in Antigua, Roseau, which is in Dominica, and they've got Basseterre, which is in St. Kitts, and then Frederickstead, which is actually in St. Croix, Tortola, British Virgin Islands, and Tampa. And these will include some really great ports that people really enjoy. They're beautiful ports. I've been to most of these, which is great too. And also, like I said, what's good too is they'll be sailing, of course, to San Juan, Puerto Rico, which has got Old San Juan. It's beautiful. You can see the beautiful ports and things too, which is great, and just beautiful places too. And then they've got their Western Caribbean Escape. That's going to be March 18th to the 26th, 2026. That's a 7-day cruise Tampa, back to Tampa. That includes Cozumel, Belize Island, Roatan, Honduras, Costa Maya, and Tampa. And that was really wonderful to share too. They've got some other ones. Another one is actually as mentioned, they're going through the Panama Canal. They got their Palms in Panama Canal. That's going to be March 25th to April 4th, 2026. This is a 10-day cruise from Tampa to Panama City. So it includes sailing from Tampa to Cozumel, Costa Maya, Belize City, Roatan, Honduras, Puerto Limon, which is in Costa Rica, Colon, which is in Panama, the Panama Canal Daylight Transit, one overnight stay in Panama City. And then they've got their other cruise they'll be offering. That's the Panama Canal Connoisseur. This is March 25th through April 14th of 2026. And this is a 20-day cruise that includes sailing from Tampa back to Miami. So we're departing from Tampa. It goes to Cozumel, Costa Maya, Belize City, Roatan, Honduras, Puerto Limon, which is actually in Costa Rica. They've got Colon, Panama, Panama Canal, of course, Daylight Transit. They've got a one-night overnight stay in Panama City, and they've got their Panama Canal Daylight Transit, Cartagena, Colombia. They've got Williamston and Curacao, also Arangestad in Aruba, Montego Bay, and then they've got Georgetown, Grand Cayman, and then back to Miami. So once again, it's really great because they've got really beautiful cruises too they're offering, and I think it's really fun to see that they're going to the Panama Canal too, because it looks like an amazing journey. So keep that in mind too, because once again, Tampa's really growing too as far as cruise lines departing from there. Plus, it gives you more options too. And like I said, with this just announced too, Oceanic Cruise is really a leading culinary and destination focused cruise line. But once again, Tampa's getting their first ultra premium cruise ship sailing. And this will be coming up in 2026. So keep that in mind too, because that's really, really, I think, fantastic news, isn't it? I've talked about private outlines before. I could talk about this all day. I won't, I promise. But once again, cruise lines do have their private islands, and they're gorgeous. And once again, when cruise lines first started doing that years and years ago, they would do usually an island in the Bahamas. That's when I first got hooked on cruising. I took my first cruise with Norwegian Cruise Line, and we went to, of course, the Bahamas. We went to the private island, and they grow that island. It's beautiful. I've been there now a couple times since then. But once again, it's just another option for people to think about when they're taking a cruise, because once again, it really is a way to really, really relax and enjoy, and you can take care of different things too. But also what's great too is there's so many options out there now. It's not just going and sitting on the beach, okay? Although I think that's really nice too. But once again, I know that once again too is they've got several different private islands. But Holland America Line has their Half Moon Cay, and actually this was actually awarded. This received an award by Porthole Cruise Magazine. As the best private island, awarded by Porthole Cruise Magazine for 20 consecutive years. And Half Moon Cay really speaks for itself. It's just, it's a crescent-shaped beach, horseback rides, nature walks. Also, just beautiful things to do too there too. And of course, with Princess Cruises, they got Princess Cay. And so once again, you're going to really enjoy different things. Of course, if you want to do snorkeling, you do snorkeling. They've got banana boat rides, dune buggy adventures, and walking trails, which is great. And there isn't a shortage of things to do too. You can relax too, because once again, if you want to, you can actually take a break. With Princess Cruises, they got their private bungalows, and you can pick up your feet, put up your feet like you do, like those dudes, and just take the beautiful views too. And then one thing I've learned too, and I really love it too, is with MSC Cruises. MSC Cruises, their Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve is fantastic. I'll be writing about it more. Of course, I've written about it before. Got a chance to be there on cruising one of their new ships in 2021, after cruising restarted. But with this, it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful island. And as mentioned, it was actually the MSC Group, which owns MSC Cruises, Explorer Journeys is a luxury cruise line. They got their nonprofit foundation. Plus, they've got their Mediterranean Shipping Group company too, separate. But what they did was the MSC Group actually leased this island in the Bahamas for $100 million for 100 years. That island had been there, and it was home of a manufacturing plant. The plant went under, left. MSC Cruises actually invested $400 million of their own money to get the island back up on shape. The trees were dead. The sea life was dead. I mean, the manufacturing company just left. And MSC Cruises and the family invested $400 million so far. It's beautiful. And what they did was they had to build trees, thousands of trees. They are right now rebuilding the ocean life, which is great, but they do a beautiful job. They've got 6 entire beaches. They've got different types of water-based activities. They've got beautiful buffets that provide really beautiful food too. And I mentioned too, there's even a beach that's actually dedicated to families with, or families too. Also, what they've got too is, it really is a paradise. And once again too, what I mentioned before is, when I was over the christening, the company also did a sand cutting for their lab. They're building a marine lab right there. They've actually been growing coral reef trees there too. And what this lab they're doing too is right now they're going to be adding some things for guests on board the MSC ships that actually go there. So you'll see parts of the lab and see what they're drilling too. And once again too, what's really great too is when you get a chance to go to Ocean Cay Embassy Reserve on a cruise. Usually it's located in the Bahamas, but once again, they stay later, which is great. Even when I was there for the christening, we didn't leave the island until about 1:30 in the morning. I mean, the christening there in the evening was earlier, right after dinner, but they can leave later on, and they had a really, really great show outside um, with fireworks, things like that too. It was gorgeous too, so keep that in mind too. Another one that's really, really beautiful is Royal Caribbean's Coco Cay, and it's really has some fun things too. They actually have the tallest water slide in all North America. Okay, yeah, they've got the very first overwater cabanas in the Bahamas, and Coco Cay actually is an island offers something for everybody too. You can get swept by a wave pool. You can actually soar 1,600 feet above the island on zip lines. You can go zip lining there too, or just put your feet up and relax and chill on the island. Also, with Coco Cay, they've got their different distinct neighborhoods, which have their own types of guests in mind. Now they have an adult-only area too, plus one for families too, which is great too. Another one, this is where I got hooked on cruising too, was actually with Norwegian Cruise Line called Great Stirrup Cay. And this is actually tucked away in the northern end of the Berry Islands, and it's exclusive, of course, Norwegian Cruise Line guests. It's got beautiful white sand beaches. It's got a wide range of eateries and bars, rounded up by a great line of activities. It's a perfect place to chill off if you want to. And once again, you can enjoy kayaking if you want to, zip lining, snorkeling, simply doing nothing. And they've also got their private areas too, their Silver Code exclusive villa retreats. I got a chance to see that. I was on board one of their christenings too. It was great. A couple of years ago, it was great. And something now, which is really, really fun, is Carnival Cruise Line. They are building Celebration Key. It's their new destination they're building. It's a private island, and this one is actually located on the south side of Grand Bahama Island, exclusively for Carnival guests. And it's a perfect day, perfect for adults, also families with kids. And what they're doing is they're really, really doing a lot. They're building this themselves too. I believe it's going to be open next year for guests. So they will be offering Celebration Key on several of their cruise line itineraries across cruise lines starting in 2025. And once again, it just, like I said, it's just a great way to really kind of relax, enjoy things, and have fun things too. I know that they've got, some things too is they've got, like their Marilon White Sand Beach. They got freshwater lagoons. They've got local Bahamian flavors and shopping, plus excursions. And like I said, the Celebration Key opens up, yes, in next year, 2025. They're sharing more details, which I'll share more and more, of course, too. And what they do is when they open it up for their Carnival Cruise Line ships to go to, they're going to actually have, next year, 18 Carnival ships will actually get a chance to sail there from 9 different U.S. home ports, too. And once again, it's just great because once again, they've got a lot of sailings been going there, and this is their first private out island. Another one, of course, that another cruise line has a private island, of course, is with Disney Cruise Line. It's beautiful. I've been there one time when Disney was first starting. It was beautiful because back in those times, what happened was they were the first cruise line that actually had a dock for the ship to dock right there, and you docked and walked right off the ship. Or previous to that, even with these other cruise line islands, years ago, the ship would anchor, and you'd have to tender in. But now, like I said, it's just very convenient for ships to build their own ship places for their ships to dock. Good example is with MSC Ocean Cay Embassy Marine Reserve too, which is great too. I think NCL is working that maybe with their private island too. I think I'm not sure. You know that it was on when I was there for the christening of one of their ships. We sailed out there, and the ship had to anchor, and they got tendered back and forth. But once again, that's just interesting what cruise lines are doing too. Just kind of expand that option too. Okay, and something else that's really kind of fun too is with mention. You think about with Virgin Voyages. Okay, that's one, no kids allowed. But what they do is, they started sailing from Port Miami, and I got a chance to actually be on board the Scarlet Lady, and it was actually fall of 2021, and they actually invited me, other public relations people do, to actually go down to see the Scarlet Lady when she just starts. She's going to be sailing out the next 2 days. And they built their cruises around that too. But one thing that came up, I think is really fun to share too, is with Virgin Voyages, they actually are offering now some sailings in the Greek islands. Yes, yes. This just came up. It's the Resilient Lady ship is the name, and she just arrived in Portsmouth for their inaugural United Kingdom season. And it included, with their season, they're going to the Greek islands, and they were doing their inaugural UK season. So that just started. So once again, with Virgin Voyages, it's not just sailing in the Caribbean, but once again, with the Resilient Lady, from August, which is right now, to October, she's going to actually embark on 3 to 6 night round trip sailings, and calling in cities including Amsterdam and Bruges, Lisbon, Bordeaux, Casablanca, as well as the island of Ibiza. And then they've got a 12-night sailing from UK to Spain and Morocco. And they mentioned they're really, really excited about being back in the British waters again, because once again, they've got different types of cultural type of things and adventures for their guests, their sailors, they call them sailors, to do to escape the British weather. And like I said, I guess they originally did sail from Portsmouth to on their main voyage back in 2021 when they first started, of course. And they mentioned too, as far as the economic impact, which is really, really great too. That's what cruise lines do too. They really provide money coming into these private places too, to really help the income too. And once again, they just mentioned that they're he was the leader of the Portsmouth City Council leader. He mentioned they're very pleased that Virgin Voyages is coming back for the 3rd time with the incredible Resilient Lady, and they're also proud to be the first and only port in the world to have also welcomed 3 Virgin Voyage ships. So going back to Virgin Voyage ships, okay, they started with Scarlet Lady, which is great, then the Valiant Lady, okay, and then of course now with the Resilient Lady, that's their 3rd Virgin Voyage ship, which is going to be actually sailing this area too. And once again too is, like I said, they had a great success in 2021, and that's why Virgin Voyage is bringing back their Virgin Celebration Voyage. It's sold out, so you can't get booked. Sorry, wait till next time. But it's got a 5-night round trip sailing from Portsmouth on September 3rd. That will see Virgin Voyage's founder, Sir Richard Branson, singer Boy George, also the Virgin Galactic astronauts venture on board for a series of different exclusive events. That's coming up on September 3rd. Then from September 14th to the 19th, Virgin Voyage's newest ship will once again sail a round trip from Portsmouth and for the brand's first comedy festival. This sounds fun, doesn't it? Headlining is United Kingdom's comedians Russell, let me check his name here real quick here. Russell Howard, and his 2019 tour Respite sold more than 300,000 tickets across 24 countries and 5 continents. And the voyage will also feature in-house performances of The Dark Room, the world's only live-action video game that has since become an actual video game, a touring live show, and a streaming sensation. So once again, keep this in mind too, because once again, this is going to be Virgin Voyage's their first comedy festival. Okay, I think it sounds fun. That's September 14th to the 19th. Okay, but how fun? Keep that in mind too, because one thing as far as Virgin Voyages. Having a chance to finally see their ship was just fantastic. It was beautiful, and once again, they have different options as far as dining, so you don't have to do main dining, late dining, main dining room, etc. You've got different choices. It's beautiful, and the entertainment was really, really fun too. So definitely, I think that's fun to think about too. So keep in mind, and once again, if you want to sail on Virgin Voyages, remember, no kids allowed. Okay, you have to be adult, 18 years or older. And something else that came up too is Windstar Cruises is growing. Okay, um, they're adding some new ships too. They just announced this when I was at Sea Trade back in the spring. That was really, really fun too, because I think it's just really fun too. And they've been around 40 years actually, but they've been renovating their ships. Once again, what they're doing is they just began sailing this year to the Marquesa Islands, and this is actually in the South Pacific Paradise. It welcomes just a few thousand visitors per year. And in July, the Marquesas received a broad international recognition because once again, they're named as one of the planet's newest UNESCO World Heritage Sites too. So what they're doing is, with Windstar Cruises, what they're doing is they're commemorating this by offering a special celebration cruise that departs December 26th by Windstar's French-Polynesian attaché Hirani Johnson, along with three Marquesas Island mayors too, which is great. A bit more about this that would be good to share too is, and then they're going to have another celebratory sailing coming up next year, March 27, 2025, and they got suites available. As far as UNESCO, some things about that maybe you're not aware of. You heard of the term maybe, but once again, UNESCO recognized the Marquesas as far as its gorgeous geography and remote location, also with its surrounding waters being among the world's last marine wilderness areas. And UNESCO has actually recognized the Marquesas' unique culture and heritage. And Windstar Cruises, by the way, has actually been sailing in French Polynesia for how many years? More than 36 years. So they've got deep relationships and partnerships with the local officials and the region. My parents had a chance to go there years and years ago. They loved it. My dad couldn't wait to get back too. But just the pictures he shared and took looked beautiful. And for Windstar to have been sailing to French Polynesia for more than 36 years is just phenomenal. And once again, they've got, because once again, their ships are small, so they can go into the remote Marquesas, bringing a total number of islands that they visit in the South Pacific to 11 islands. And Windstar Cruises has year-round cruises, yes. That also include the Society of Islands. And once again, they bring the culture of the French Polynesia on board and a really, really cultural ambassador for all the sailings. And their activities include a complimentary Bora Bora, which is in Tahiti, Bora Bora Celebration Destination Discovery event. It's a private feast on a beach with local performances from music to fire dancing. Local food and beer spirits are highlighted on board, and they've also got curated short excursions by locals. And once again, too, is they've mentioned too that they're hosting the mayors of these incredible islands on board their Star Breeze for the celebration of the UNESCO World Heritage status. And once again, it's just really, really great because they've got these three mayors from these different cities that will be on the September 26th celebration sailing. It's a 14-day round-trip voyage from Papeete. And they'll be offering different beautiful things too. The workshops on board too, led by hands-on topics. Also, they've got some dance lessons. They'll be offering culinary demonstrations. And then they've also got some different things too. They've got professional photographers on board too. And they'll be actually helping out programming with really photography workshops, which sounds great too. So once again, about Windstar Cruises, a little bit more of them too. Their ships, they have six. There are 6 boutique all-suite and sailing yachts carry between 148 to 342 guests. And Windstar Cruises, of course, really offers a very, very intimate experience. And guests can explore different places, of course, across Europe, the Caribbean, Costa Rica, the Panama Canal, New England, Eastern Canada, South America, and South Pacific. Plus, what Windstar Cruises does too is they actually operate year-long Europe cruises, plus they offer two really unique experiences that will be starting in Tahiti in 2027. Also, as mentioned, Windstar is growing. They're building two new ships. And with their cruises, there are two new ships that are being introduced, and they're going to be starting 2025. The two new ship names are going to be called the Star Seeker and Star Explorer. And also, it's not just about travel. It's really about that experience, and also creating experiences that really resonate with people's souls, which we need more than ever too. And they've got port-intensive itineraries, they've got iconic destinations, exceptional service. They're really, really innovative culinary program too. So what they do is really with Windstar Cruises, it really is an opportunity for discovery and delight too. But once again, just such so exciting that they're building two new ships. As mentioned, they mentioned that back at conference in April, Sea Trade. They were very excited when they made a big announcement, press release conference too. But their two new ships will be coming out in I think 2 years, maybe, I think. But that's really exciting. But that's great too. Plus, offering things in Tahiti, which sounds fantastic too. Like I said, my parents had a chance to go there several times. They loved it. But this is just really fun because once again, with the offering these experiences year round, starting in 2027 as far as Tahiti, that's great too. So definitely keep that in mind because it's really good to get excited about new ships coming out. And once again, these are yacht types of experiences too, smaller. If you take a look at the number of guests they got on board, I mean, come on. Was 148 people, I think, to maybe at the most, look at it again too. Yeah, 148 people to 342 people guests on their ships too. So once again, they offer different itineraries, and it's really exciting because once again, their new ships, which are going to be introduced in December next year, are the Star Seeker and Star Explorer. So they're starships. Okay, keep that in mind because that's really, really fun, great stuff too to remember too. And then something else that I want to mention too is, as far as you're talking about yachts and things, once again, we're not just talking about a 20-person yacht. Once again, these are really luxury types of yachts. But something that just came up this week too was Emerald Cruises is going to be launching their next generation super yacht. It's going to be called the Emerald Kayla, and that's going to be the latest addition to their luxury yacht fleet. And like I said, it's going to be the hull's going to actually be, I think, they just started getting the hull information too in August 22nd. So that was probably last week, yes. But once again, they just started the beginning of the construction on August 22nd, which is great too. And like I said, with should be sailing on some most beautiful destinations and coastlines starting in April of 2026. Once again, they just did the hull cleaning last week, and these are going to be offering on board the ship. They've got their private cabanas that's on the sky deck. They've got their private cabanas. They've got a new indoor-outdoor sky lounge. They've also got a luxury open-air experience there. And then they've got their marina. It's going to include the Marina Lounge, which offers a wider range of water sport activities. And then near the ship's bow, which is the front, their observation sun deck features spa pool and sun lounges. Also, we have diverse dining options too. One that includes the new Night Market Grill It's an Asian-style grill concept that can accommodate up to 8 guests. There isn't a additional cost for this, but once again, 8 guests. Also, is a larger terrace for guests to enjoy al fresco dining at La Cucina restaurant. Also, as far as relaxation and rejuvenation, they've got their expanded Element Spa that offers full menu of retreatments too, and the Emerald Caia also provide a new outdoor platform with indoor-outdoor activities too, which is great. And then also it's going to be complemented by really beautiful ocean views too. And once again, with Emerald Cruise Lines, they're really more of a premium cruise line. Keep in mind too. But definitely keep in mind because they just announced this, and this is going to be their next generation super yacht from Emerald Cruises. And that one is actually called the, I think it's pronounced Emerald Caia. Okay, but definitely keep in mind because we've got so many things going on in the cruise industry, but that's really kind of fun with new ships coming out. Of course, I love the recognition with Regent Cruise Line recognizing educators, which is great. So definitely keep in mind because they open that up. You can actually get nominated, and they take votes like crazy. But you can actually get a teacher educator nominated. They actually open that up in May each year. This is the 5th year they've done it, so they'll be up again in I think May of 2025. But keep in mind too, because it's just a great way to really, I think, embrace educators more than ever because they work so hard. They really do. Okay, and another one I talk about too that's growing like crazy too in very good ways is with AMA Waterways. They actually started back in 2002, and back then they started with it was Rudy Schreiner, the co-founder owner, Kristen Karntz, and also the late Jimmy Murphy. He was actually on a different travel company, but he came in as one of their partners. And with AMA Waterways, the word AMA means love. What they did was Rudy Schreiner's got a great story. He actually was an architect, was from overseas in Europe, came to the U.S. He started doing some different things, and he wound up getting to do a trip down to South America, and he was doing something on the Amazon River. He actually built a yacht. They relocated to the United States in New Orleans, worked with other people as far as different travel companies. He had a travel company too, and then got into helping other people, starting with river cruising, because once again, years ago, river cruising really wasn't around like it is today. It's more options, because once again, one thing that's good about river cruising too is when you take a river cruise over in Europe, we have them in the US too, I'll talk about that more, but with river cruises over in Europe, you fly usually the day before, and you can sail on these smaller custom-made river cruise line ships, and the ships take you to different cities. Also, what's good too is I know with Waterways, they really have a lot of wellness activities too. Once again, they got free bicycles that guests can actually use when they get off at one of the cities they dock by in Europe, and people use the bikes come back. And they've got of course some special theme cruises too. And as far as their growth, as mentioned, they started in 2002. And next year, guess how many ships AMA Waterways is going to have in operation? 29 ships, yes. And then they have more ships, of course, in 2026. What they do is they actually go to 33 different countries. I know their Amalilia started sailing the Nile River, of course, and they're doing the Columbia River down in South America. That's starting in 2025. Right now, Rudy's been busy on that with 2 ships. That'll be in South America. Okay. I think that's Magdalena River, but it sounds fantastic too. So I think that's just great because once again, when we think about options as far as river cruising, of course, we think about Europe. That's really a place I've not been to yet, but I want to go there, and I think river cruising would make it much easier. Okay. Also, they do offer, of course, their Egypt cruises, Nile River, different places, plus they're expanding into South America, and it's just really what they're doing is really, I think, fantastic things too. And once again, too, what they do too is AMA Waterways they actually have, of course, some special theme cruises too. I think I mentioned it before, but it's good to talk about it now too. Is On Waterways is launching some new itineraries in the iconic French region, and they just unveiled their 2025 Celebration Wine River Cruise Hubs too. So what they're doing is just in time, really, I got to celebrate. They announced this, of course, back in May this year. Um, May 25th actually was National Wine Day. What they're doing is they launched some new river cruise line sailings. Going to be having some wine themes too, which is great. And once again, they'll have more than 70 hosted departures. And this is part of their On the Waterways 2025 series, Celebration of Wine River Cruises. So I think if you're interested in maybe enjoying wine and taking a river cruise, like maybe look into this next year, okay? Because once again, Waterways has got several different wine river cruises coming up next year. It's their Celebration Wine River Cruises next year too. And what they do is this is going to be offered in 21 different itineraries, and it highlights iconic wines in different regions, including Burgundy in France, the Douro Valley in Portugal, also some lesser-known destinations that include Ache Valley in Austria, along the Moselle River in Germany, and once again, they have their Flavors of Burgundy itinerary, which will be on their Calo between Lyon and the port of Dijon, France. But once again, it's just kind of fun too. They're doing this too because once again, Christine Carnes, who is the co-owner too, just mentioned that delving into regional wine specialties throughout Europe really enables their guests to really gain a different appreciation for the country, the history, and the culture and the people. And once again, with Waterways, they've always placed a really high priority when it comes to serving wines that are often sourced from vineyards visited by their guests too, which is great, and including their shore excursions too. So once again, a good example is the Flavors of Burgundy itinerary. Let's have guests the opportunity to visit Lyon, which is really France's culinary capital too. And once again, it's got beautiful vineyards and just beautiful areas too. And once again, really, if you think about it today more than ever, I think when we think about cuisine, that's important too. But once again, now more than ever, I think cuisine and wine have really become part of the travel experience today. If you think about it, yes. And like I said, they offer different options for that too. Because once again, with their Celebration of Wine River Cruises, which go from North America to Europe. A qualified wine expert from North America or Europe will be there to really kind of share different things too. They've also got their, as far as the 70 different Celebration of Wine River Cruises in 2025, they've got 7 night itineraries, which is great, and wine hosts to really have there on board. For instance, they've got their Flavors of Burgundy, and Epicurean travelers will really explore France's legendary wine region, Burgundy. That includes ways to experience really beautiful things too, in beautiful bike tours too, relaxed scenic sailings, and guests can really indulge in a variety of different type of tastings, different places too. Also, what's great too is, in addition to this cruise, the cruise guest travelers can actually do a post-cruise land package with 3 nights in Geneva, which is great. And then once again, travelers can actually extend their stay in their pre-cruise land package with 2 nights in Zurich, 2 nights in Lake Lucerne, Switzerland. And they also got their Enchanting Rhine, and this itinerary is actually between Basel and Amsterdam. It takes travelers through the Rhine River, through the designated UNESCO World Heritage Site with 40 different castles. Oh my gosh, castles. And they've got, guests can enjoy beautiful cities like Amsterdam, of course, Strasbourg, and also they've got their romantic Danube And for people that are history buffs, they really want to maybe look at the beautiful areas in the old world Europe, which really provides more of that romantic era too. Um, this is really, really a beautiful area too, because once again, you think about that, it's really where the kings and queens were actually crowned. Okay, and also some of the world's greatest music was actually created there too by Mozart and Beethoven. And travelers can actually spend a little more time on this side of the world with a 2-night pre-cruise land package in Munich, or a 3-night pre-cruise land package in Prague. Also, guests can choose if they want from the 3 romantic Danube celebration or winding river cruises, different departures that are coming up in March and July of 2025. And once again, just think about that celebration wine, because it sounds really, really great too. Once again about Waterways, as mentioned, they've been family operated and owned for now 22 years, since 2002, and they have really beautiful unparalleled river cruise line experiences for guests, because their 28 ships are actually been custom designed and built, of course, and they include, of course, Europe's rivers, Danube, Douro, Rhine River, Moselle, Maine, and then also got they've got their Columbia Magdalena River Cruise coming out in 2025. That's in South America, and that's actually being designed right now. I believe they're going to have 2 ships sailing that too. I'm not sure, but once again, that's coming out in 2025. So once again, with the Magdalena River in Colombia, it looks absolutely amazing, and I will be sharing more about that too, because once again, with Waterways, they have theme cruises. The wine cruises were just one example. Different theme cruises, and they've also got, besides that, they got their heated outdoor swimming pools. They've got swim-up bars. They've got, usually as far as the number of guests on board their ships, it's usually maybe 150 guests or more at the most on board their ships. They've got their specialty chef's table restaurant, their main lounge restaurants. As mentioned, they've got their heated outdoor pools, which is great. Also, sun deck walking track too. But definitely keep Waterways in mind, because they are just a fantastic company. And they got such a great story about starting it with just one ship back in 2022. As mentioned, with Waterways, and of course Rudy Schrein, who is the president, co-founder. He's a really lifeline advocate of river cruising, and he's really known as the architect of river cruising. But once again, his deep connection with the rivers growing up in Vienna, and also, like I said, as far as his favorite route, he mentioned that the Danube flows through the heart of Europe, which offers a river cruise that combines the charm of all 3 cities, Budapest, Vienna, and Bratislava, and also this really stunning views too. So keep that in mind too, because once again, they're doing different things too. And like I said, I really think it's really exciting that they're doing the Magdalena River Cruise starting next year in 2025, as far as down in South America. And some different things too. As mentioned, they're family-owned, still family-owned, which is great. And as far as where they sail, I mentioned, of course, Europe's major rivers too, which is great. Also, they do the Southeast Asia Mekong River, Africa's Chobe River, Egypt's Nile River, and then Colombia's Magdalena River, which is going to start in 2025. And once again, they offer a wide range of different included shore excursions, small group shore excursions. That also features biking, hiking options too. But they got their local award-winning cuisine, and they really pair these up with complimentary fine wine. And like I said, their ships actually have at the most about 150 guests. And of course, on board they've got their main lounge. They got their specialty chef's table restaurant. They've got hair massage salons. They've got their sun deck walking track, the heated outdoor swimming pools, and swim-up bars. And they really lead the way when it comes to river cruising too, as far as innovation too. And like I said, they've got the 2 new ships that we're going to be doing. They're going to be doing the Columbia Magdalena River next year, so keep that in mind too. But I think it's really great what they're doing too, because once again, they're still family owned, and Rudy's such a passionate person. I mean, he and Christine Carnes, and also Jimmy Murphy was the co-founder. He passed away, but his son is in the group too, which is great too. So keep that in mind too, because once again, with river cruising, you got so many options. It's not just be just over in Europe, of course. It's going to be in different areas too, so keep that in mind too. Something else too is, if you think about it, as far as river cruising, we've got river cruising sailing from the U.S. One, of course, is American Cruise Lines, and they just christened last week their new Coastal Cat ship, and it's American Cruise Lines. They're family owned, which is great, and they got more ships they're going to be building too, but they're smaller class ships. Plus, what's good too is the family actually owns the shipyard that builds their ships. Of course, they're very, very small, and they offer different things too. And something else that came up too is another cruise line that's going to be starting next year is Victory Cruise Lines, which is great. And that will be, I think they're starting to sail maybe, I think in March or May next year. They're opening up their reservations office too. Victory Cruise Lines was actually started a while back. Then they were taken over by the American Steamboat Company. That changed their names, but then that went under, unfortunately. But the Victory Cruise Lines 2 ships are part of them at the time. Were actually bought out by the former president of that other cruise line, which is great, and they're launching them. Their ships are being launched next year, and I'm just really excited about that too, because once again, they're smaller luxury ships. What they're doing is, one thing they're doing too, when they were still part of American Queen Voyages, I got a chance to see their one ship when she's going to start sailing on a cruise from Navy Pier in Chicago. And they're doing those cruises too, of course, when they restart next year, which is great. So definitely keep that in mind, because that's really great too. I'm sure about them, but Victory Cruise Lines, their 2 ships they have were just gorgeous, very, very nice and small. What they were doing is they were sailing on the Great Lakes cruises that were going through the lakes and up to Canada, which is great. And then another one's going back too, but they're just relaunching now, and that's going to be the Victory Cruise Lines coming out next year. I think they've opened reservations now, so keep that in mind too if you're interested in that too. Mark, any questions for me or not? Let me know. Because it's so good as far as, celebrating teachers and just announce the winners of the 20 teachers that won those awards, which is great. Also with the growth as far as the cruise industry, Windstar Cruises building 2 new ships, which is great. And also different choices out there as far as the out islands, of course. But that's really wonderful too, because with the private out islands, they're beautiful places to go. They really are, and I'm really excited what Carnival Cruise Lines is doing their Celebration Key. They have been, and I see small little things about it I'll share more about later. Okay, but definitely keep that in mind, because it's just a great option to think about too. And what's fun too is, with talked about Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve, but once again, that is part of the MSC Group, which actually has, of course, their nonprofit foundation. And they've got MSC Cruises, they've got Explorer Journeys, plus they've got their container shipping company. But with their MSC Ocean Cay MSC Reserve, their private island is gorgeous. One thing I personally liked about just with me was I want to go back. They really do. It was great. But once again, their ships stay longer there because it's closer. Being back to like Miami, etc. But also what they do too is they really do a great job as far as working hard on sustainability. They're building the coral reef trees, which is great. And once again, you can stay longer because the ships don't leave early at night. Sometimes with the private islands, they have to get back on the ship first, because to get back it takes longer, but in this case it's very close, and it's just beautiful what they've done too. And like I said, they're building that marine lab. I'll be sharing about that in a future future issue, TV show too, of course. But it's great because once again, people really need to think about sustainability now more than ever. And in the cruise industry, one thing they're doing too that people are maybe not aware of is they're working out to do liquefied natural gas to operate their ships, of course, the shore power, which I think I've mentioned before. I know with Port Miami, they just did a pre-presentation. They actually have shore power available now for ships to plug in to shore power at Port Miami. And that's growing like crazy. Once again, it goes back to sustainability, and liquefied natural gas is less as far as hurting the environment too, which is great. So, but just keep that in mind too, because let's do that, okay? It's important. And like I said, the foundation is fantastic. You know, once again, it's a foundation. They own it privately too. So, and for them to build that marine lab, I'll share more about that later. And it's good too. So keep in mind, because it's another good example of good ship happens, right? Oh, another I forgot to mention this too, as far as with the MSC Group, they actually own Explorer Journeys, and they're actually christening their new Explorer 2 ship in another week and a half. I think September 15th or 19th is Explorer 2. And once again, that's the Ocean Life to Sea. What they do is great, and it's part of the MSC Group. But Explorer Journeys is their luxury cruise line. They have small capacity. And also, once again, they just debuted their first ship last year, Explorer 1. And Explorer Journeys, their second ship is coming out in another week and a half, which is great. They've got at least, I think, 2 more Explorer ships coming out. They might have 4, I'm not sure, but it's great too, because once again, it's just more of a luxury type of ambience type thing too, which is great. Plus, what they're doing too is they've been sailing in, they're actually going to be bringing this Explorer 2 to the U.S. We're going to actually show the video with Dr. Sylvia Earle. She's actually helps out with the MSC Group too, which is great. She actually was the godmother of the Explorer 1 too, by the way, Dr. Sylvia Earle. Once again, just a great example of sustainability, what the cruise industry is doing. I'm just waiting for the video to show, that's all. With Dr. Sylvia Earles.
I'm Dr. Sylvia Earle, a marine biologist, oceanographer, explorer, and I'm passionate about the protection of this blue planet. I grew up next to the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico, and I've witnessed how much the ocean has changed and how marine life has been endangered. But I know there is still time to help the ocean, which is why I was drawn to the Aponte family's sustainability mission. Explorer Journeys has a genuine ambition to connect people with the wonders of the sea, its marine life, its communities, spiritually, physically, and intellectually. We share the same values and have the same objectives to deepen people's relationship with the ocean, to explore, protect, and restore. Explorer Journeys calls it the ocean state of mind, a sensibility that will ensure the protection of this precious blue planet. Through my foundation, Mission Blue, we're working on ocean conservation, inspiring hope with champions across the world. Beginning with my extraordinary role as godmother to Explorer 1, we will be heralding a meaningful collaboration between myself, Mission Blue, and explorer journeys in the MSC Foundation towards preserving and restoring the world's oceans, the blue heart of the planet.